Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the STROBEL channel. And this is everything we know so far about the Kyrie 8, right? So as you guys all know, when the Kyrie 8 was leaked, Kyrie Irving actually went on Instagram and just went on a random post and said, like, this is not my shoe. Or he said, I hate this shoe actually. He said it's trash and he had nothing to do with the design. And then we see Kyrie Irving wearing the Kyrie 8, and it seems like, you know, he's like enjoying it and stuff. And as far as like the overall design goes, it looks exactly the same as when it was first leaked. So he said it was trash and then he's wearing it now, so I don't know what's going on with that. And I wonder if we're ever gonna know what the story is between Kyrie Irving and Nike. You know, when Kyrie said, I hate this shoe, this is not the shoe that I designed, and now he's just wearing it, right? So did he hate the initial like design as in like just the way it looks, or did he hate it as far as like he tried it out and he hates the performance or the technology and then they changed that up, right? I'm actually not sure. And we're also not sure who the designer is. You know, at first, you know, the Kyrie 1 to the Kyrie 3 was Leo Chang actually. You know, Leo Chang designed the Kyries, and he also put, you know, the outsole curvature, which started with the Kyrie 2. And then it changed to Ben Kame, right? And then I believe it's been the same designer, you know, Ben, since the 4 to the 7, I believe. But we're not sure about the 8. Actually, I'm not sure about the 7. Who designed the 7? If you guys know, tell us down in the comment section below. But anyways, besides the fact, so first of all, as far as the overall colorways go, we actually have a lot of, or a good amount of colorways that have been leaked, right? So we have this a pretty cool like blue purple colorway with like a camo on the actual like this upper. And then we also have another one where it's like, it's kind of like a Celtics colorway. I mean, Kyrie's not with the Celtics anymore, but it says keep Sue fresh. So this is the keep Sue fresh colorway, but it kind of looks like a Celtics colorway, right? And then we also have like a very basic white, gray, and black colorway. You know, the upper is white basically, the midsole and the ankle area is gray, the outsole is black, and also I guess like the lining is black as well. So this colorway is okay. And we also have the initial like leaked colorway, which is kind of like a black and red colorway. So as far as the overall traction goes, right? So we have some new leaks. And so first of all, in the first leak, we saw the actual outsole, right? And then the outsole, the traction looks very aggressive. In the forefoot, we have kind of like a pod. And we got a lot of grooves, which is great. The Kyrie Irving logo though is kind of like cut out in the outsole, right? And then you can see obviously his signature. And then here in the heel, we have the number 8. And I guess if you turn it sideways, it turns into the infinity symbol, which is pretty cool. And we can see some zoom units right in the heel. So that was the initial leak, right? But now in the new leak, shout out to Sneaker Speculation as well as Chill Milky, the outsole is a little different, right? So in the middle of the outsole, we can see Kyrie Irving's logo, but it's not cut out, right? And in the forefoot, we can kind of see like the same exact pattern in that pod. And then the heel, it seems like they removed the zoom unit. And a lot of you guys actually sent this picture out to me. And my thoughts are like, I feel like this actual colorway, or this actual shoe in particular in this picture, is a Kyrie 8 grade school version, right? So as you guys all know, grade school is different than actual like adult or GR releases, because I don't know why, but they've just put less tech in GR releases, right? So if you look, for example, like in the PG3, in the forefoot, if you look at the outsole, it just has kind of like flex grooves and no forefoot zoom unit. And if you look at the actual like adult release, obviously there's a forefoot zoom unit, right? So Nike does that with their grade school releases. And I'm guessing this Kyrie 8, you know, is a grade school. And if it's not, and they removed the heel zoom unit, I'm gonna be sad because that kind of sucks, because as you guys all know, the Kyrie 8 supposedly has the most cushion that we've ever seen in a Kyrie model, which is awesome because that's, I mean, it's long awaited, guys. I mean, Kyries have had the crappiest cushion, super stiff. I guess the zoom turbo unit in the forefoot since the Kyrie 5 has been pretty nice, but I don't know, like a forefoot and heel zoom, that's never been done in a Kyrie, right? So that's a little bit of a difference there, but that's just speculation. We're not 100% sure if this is an actual grade school release, or did they actually change that here in like the new model. Remember, since Kyrie said he didn't like the actual shoe, right? We don't know, you know, but that's just speculation there. As far as the cushion goes, so if you look at the foam looks really stiff. And yeah, Kyries have never had really nice foam. The Kyrie 4 with the cushion was super nice, but every other model has been really bad. So I'm guessing this is probably the same. you know, like same as like the Kyrie 7, the Kyrie 6. I mean, the Kyrie 7 was okay. There was a little bit of compression, but still not super nice. But as we've seen from the actual leaks, right, there's a heel zoom unit, right? And it's a rectangular zoom unit in the heel. And I mean, the rectangular zoom unit isn't very nice, you know, they use it in like the cheaper models especially, but I mean, it's in the heel, right? And it seems to be top loaded, which is nice. We can also see a midfoot chain plate. It's just a very small plastic piece. And then in the forefoot, you see that cutout, right? Supposedly, they're using a Zoom STROBEL unit in the forefoot, just like the Zoom GT Run. As you guys can see, there's only 2 flex screws, which is a pretty big difference between like the full length Zoom STROBEL unit that we've seen in like the KD14, KD13, Zoom GT Cut. Those have actually a lot of flex screws and a lot of articulation, so that it doesn't feel kind of like as fluid, you know, it just feels bouncy in that one spot, right? As opposed to like if you've tried like a full length Zoom unit, remember like the drop-in Kobe 11 midsole where you had that full length Zoom unit, no articulation? That Zoom unit is extremely bouncy. So it has just 2 flex screws, you know, just for articulation, you know, a little bit more flex probably, but yeah, it looks super thick. It basically covers the entire forefoot, which I'm super excited about. But I don't know, guys, because the Zoom GT Run was like pretty damn crazy for me, right? And I didn't really like it all too much. Sometimes I liked it, and sometimes I didn't for some reason, right? So hopefully it's a little bit thinner, or like, because you know in the Zoom GT Run, it was like it bulged out in the forefoot, right? So when, like, let's say this is the forefoot in the shoe, my foot was basically like this. You know, usually a lot of shoes, they have an offset where the heel is higher, right? But in the Zoom GT Run, it just felt like the forefoot was higher. I didn't really like the feeling all too much. So hopefully the Kyrie 8 doesn't do that. But yeah, I mean, this is still super nice, I guess. And then, of course, we can see the STROBEL board, because in the forefoot, we have the Zoom unit, which also replaces the STROBEL board, but we don't have anything to replace the STROBEL board in the midfoot and in the heel. So they have to add that. And then as far as the upper goes, the upper looks really similar to the Kyrie 6. That's why I brought the Kyrie 6 out. And the Kyrie 6 was nice. You know, it was a nice feeling material on foot. It's soft. It's not the thinnest material and also not the softest material, but you know, it got the job done. It was cozy and all that. I just really didn't like this rubber piece here because it stiffened up the material quite a bit in the forefoot, right? But if you look at the actual Kyrie 8, it doesn't seem like there's anything to stiffen it up at all, you know, in the Kyrie 8, which I like. And also we got some kind of like bands, I guess. They're like leather bands, it looks like, and it kind of like makes an X. You know, I don't know if it's free flowing or anything, but that probably helps for support, especially for lateral containment. And also when you tighten up the laces, it'll probably tighten on your foot a little bit more as well. The overall like look of the shoe looks really similar to the Kyrie 6. It just looks like a little bit of a different design from the Kyrie 6, and also obviously without the strap. And I don't really know how I feel about that. You know, the Kyrie 7 was a definite upgrade for me, in my opinion, over the Kyrie 6, because, you know, the Kyrie 6 was, you know, although it was like very nice and comfortable and very, very cozy, there's just a lot of padding, there's a lot going on, so it didn't feel super minimal, and that's just something I want from my shoes, right? The Kyrie 8, it looks, like I said, the same as the Kyrie 6. There's a lot of padding here in the ankle area, it looks like. The tongue also probably has a lot of padding. Of course, you know, it doesn't have a strap and it doesn't have this like rubber piece here in the toe box. So hopefully, you know, it'll be a little bit, you know, more minimal feeling than the Kyrie 6. But overall, it'll probably feel really similar to the Kyrie 6, like on foot, as far as the upper goes. And also, like here in the heel, it seems like they replaced this, you know, this big plastic piece here in the Kyrie 6 with just it doesn't look like it's anything. It's just probably a material, and then they probably add like an internal TPU heel counter. They use some leather materials here in the ankle area because Kyrie likes that. And yeah, the overall silhouette, you know, it just looks like a Kyrie. And a lot of you guys hate the Kyrie 8, you know, and to be honest, I don't know, like it just looks like a Kyrie, so I don't hate it. I don't really love it either. You know, I'm pretty over the design of the Kyrie. You know, it's just like every single Kyrie looks the same, but I guess, you know, you can't really complain. That's kind of like his look, and Kobe kind of, you know, did the same thing in his line. You know, like a lot of the Kobe's look very, very similar. The overall shape and silhouette was really similar, you know. So like when I show my friends who don't really know shoes too much my Kobe's, are like, that looks exactly the same, you know. So anyways, so yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it looks like an upgraded Kyrie 6 a little bit, you know, like the overall upper and stuff and the overall shape and feeling of the shoe is probably pretty similar, and the traction is probably going to be good and all that, you know, with the outsole curvature, but crazier cushion, and it's using less stuff on the upper, you know, like it doesn't have a strap, it doesn't have that plastic heel counter, so it might be a little bit lighter as well compared to the Kyrie 6. So overall, I guess I am pretty excited about it. I'm actually very excited about the cushioning setup. Like I said, hopefully it's not too crazy, but it's probably gonna be pretty crazy, right? So anyway, that's everything we know about the Kyrie 8. And also, as far as the release date goes, it's probably gonna be very soon. You know, I mean, Kyrie's wearing it. We're seeing more and more leaks, more and more colorways coming out. So they're probably getting ready to launch it. They usually launch it around like December though. So I don't know why we got the leaks so early. But you know, if they release it earlier, I'm not really complaining, right? And as far as the price goes, probably the same as the Kyrie 7, probably like 130. Or actually they might increase the price because of the zoom unit, right? Because of the cushion. So maybe a $10 increase. We might see a $10 increase in the shoe to maybe like 140 bucks. But anyways, that's everything we know about the Kyrie 8 so far. And tell us your thoughts on the Kyrie 8 down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.